Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Attorney General, thank you for being here today. Last month, I had the pleasure of meeting with you to discuss important topics that are affecting our nation, and I thank you for that. Of those many issues, you mentioned how the Department of Justice is working to reduce gun and gang crime within America with Project Safe Neighborhoods. After seeing how weak the previous administration was on crime, I'm happy to see this administration make steps to toughen up on criminal and gang activity. When I speak with local police chiefs and sheriffs in South Mississippi, they all agree. We need to organize and deploy programs that fund street-level outreach, education, and employment opportunities to combat gun and gang violence. To that point, could you please tell me, what is your request for the Project Safe Neighborhoods program, and how will it help to address the ongoing violence in neighborhoods throughout our country?
Well, thank you. It's $140 million. It will be money not going to the federal government, but be going to your local law officers in the form of a grant. And the goal of it would be to help our local grant recipients create task forces and partnerships to be more effective in their neighborhood. We've got professors who've reviewed the program in its previous existence and have established to my clear conviction that it worked, and we're going to make it even better now. And the key to success in making our communities safer is this seamless partnership between the federal resources. We are not bound by county and city jurisdictions or state lines. Even sometimes we can go internationally, which the local police aren't able to do. So we have an opportunity to have partnerships in a good way. DEA, after you've given us 2018 additional money, we met with Rob Patterson, the acting director, and he's already added 400 task force positions where we subsidize local law officers to participate in a task force to deal with that local community's problem. So we want to help South Mississippi deal with its problem, and it might be quite different than a problem somewhere else in America, and we'll help them deal with their problem.
Well, thank you for that, and I think the Project Safe Neighborhoods is a great program. And real quickly, I know you mentioned that the majority of the drugs entering our country is coming through our southern border, but it's the drugs aren't just being manufactured in Mexico, but it's coming from South and Central America. And we have national security cutters out there every day. I think at last count, the Coast Guard was responsible through the NSCs for taking off more than half of the cocaine seizures throughout our U.S. government. Do you have any thoughts or ideas? I mean, I know we need to surge to the border using every resource we have, National Guard, CBP, other agencies, federal agencies collaborating. But how do we stop those drugs from making their way into Mexico, perhaps from a naval perspective?
Thank you. I know you've raised that with us before, and you're aware of some of the situations that are important. We believe the Coast Guard and perhaps the Navy too the Navy also can play a big role in this. We know that a large amount of drugs is leaving from Colombia and south of Colombia, and it's brought by boat. Often, mostly, some comes directly to the United States, but mostly it's unloaded in Mexico and taken across our border unlawfully. And so we have an opportunity to really make a breakthrough, in my opinion, in focusing on that opportunity. And the main limitation of our ability to be successful in making even more big seizures is simply the number of boats and helicopters in the region. So they're coming up through the Caribbean, some from Colombia and Venezuela, and some is probably more coming up the Pacific side. And so it's very much an opportunity, as you and I discussed, to make a breakthrough.
Well, thank you for that as well. And sadly, we know we have visibility on a lot of the smuggling of drugs, but we don't have the resources to capture and take all of it off the water, and with more resources, we could do that. And once again, making our neighborhoods safer here in America. Thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Attorney General.
Thank you, Mr. Palazzo. We recognize the gentleman